Hello and happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to Art of Heart. I'm Marissa Campbell. And this guest today is someone who I've literally known for my whole lifetime. We knew each other from way back in the day when we were kids and kept in touch kind of on social media, like that outside, inside looking in. And today she's going to share part of her life with you. And I'm really excited. And it's so cool how life connects and reconnects us as we go on this journey and this human connection is real. So, Nicole, without further ado, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, I'm Nicole Damiano. I'm also a very emotional person, so I can already feel tears coming up in my face just talking about myself in my life. So excuse me if I get it from my dad. But I don't know. I grew up in Florida, and oh my gosh, there's a fly in my house. I it's buzzing around. But I grew up in Orlando. It's where I met Marissa, and then I went to college there. I was a teacher. I bought a house. I did everything I was supposed to do. And then I met a guy and I started to travel. We taught English overseas. And then we came back to the States. I had a really hard time adjusting back to normal life here in the state, normal life back in the States. We ended up back overseas for another year. I got pregnant. I became a mom. And then life has taken, I don't know, I got about a gajillion turns since. I have three kids. They are now 9, 10, and 12. My husband works from home. I now work from home. I don't teach anymore. And I'm kind of a nomad. I have a really hard time staying in one place. We live in Kansas City now. We're not very far from Marissa, actually, even though we haven't really met up for coffee, but we live around the corner.
We
um,
do. Super close.
they're so close, but life, right? So
Yeah.
this is the longest we've lived anywhere. We've been here 5 years. We've lived in, I want to say, 7 states with our kids, and my oldest is only 12. So during COVID, I lived on a school bus, an off-grid school bus, and traveled the country.
Which was super cool to follow, by the way. The whole schooly life is legit.
Yeah, it's kind of, I feel like, gotten a little bit quiet since COVID is over, but it was really
Mhm.
an amazing way to spend, the pandemic. And just kind of getting back into life and figuring out how it works for us has been really hard. I went back to teaching. I lasted a year and a half and then I left. And now I'm a travel agent, and it kind of is a full circle fitting spot for me because I taught social studies. I love culture and humanity, and I feel like we're missing so much of that in our world today. I've personally been to 54 countries, and I just feel like the more that we learn about everybody and the way things work everywhere else, we're kind of humbled and realize that just because we do something one way, it doesn't mean it's the right way or the wrong way. Just being different is all right. And I want to instill that in my kids. And I can talk forever. So just say, Shh, Nicole, stop for
No, I
now.
I love that. And I think part of the travel, like for me, I've traveled a lot, not as extensively. I've traveled to less places, but probably just as much.
Mhm.
And it's about those stacking experiences and stacking those experiences and meeting people who are different and how they do different things. Even like the way we live in Kansas City is so different from the way we live in Florida. And so when I first moved to Kansas
So
City,
the
it's so
hardest thing
different.
that we've had to get used to here is people stop and talk. Like we live in suburbia
Yes.
in a neighborhood with, we have 15 kids that live on our street. And if you go to get the mail and someone is out there, you're talking for 45 minutes. And it's okay. Like nobody's like, oh, I got to go make dinner. And that was the hardest thing for me. And it still is I have to say, Nicole, you don't have anything else that you have to do. You can sit and talk to these people. They're interested
Yeah.
and they want to say hi. And that's all right. And in Florida, it was like, I got places to be, right? People are
Oh, yeah. It's
really
like
nice here.
they really are. There is really something about that Midwest charm. So I was in Target when I first started visiting Kansas City before I moved, and somebody had bumped into my cart. And in Florida, it would have been like this kind of a like kind of a startled moment. But here, the lady was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I wasn't paying attention." And she starts telling me about her day, and I'm like, what is happening?"
Yeah, it's
Like,
so
but
normal.
that's
It's
it's just
really
a
weird.
slow it really is. It's a much more connected, and people ask, like, we live in, Kansas City, but it's like
It's not.
Kansas and Missouri, and we're kind of this big metro area, and people are like, "Oh, where do you live?" "What do you mean, where do I live? I live in Kansas City." "Well, actually, I live in Leavenworth," right? Or, "You live in Overland Park," or whatever the
Yeah.
case is, like, it's different neighborhoods. It's really, really
I'm in
kinda cool.
Shawnee, not even Overland Park.
See?
I'm
See?
closer.
There we go.
No, it's really weird, and I people always say, "Well, why did you pick Kansas? Like, you've been all over." And I said, "That's the exact same question we've always wondered, right? Is why?"
Mhm.
But then we're here, our kids are in great schools, and people are so kind, like, we leave our doors unlocked, like, there's nothing to be I mean, you guys don't know where I live, but
You're right, but, it's just different. It's like
different.
for me, there's a ton of culture, there's always things to do. Because I'm 2.5 hours to either coast because of all the travel, it's really helpful,
Nice.
but I always just find myself coming back here
The
because
quiet.
it's the quiet and it feels like home. So let's jump into your first story. It's a hard story and it's about the leap. So tell us more.
Okay. So this leap was unexpected. I was working for a yearbook publishing company, actually, that you might know of. It's based here in Kansas City, Walsworth Publishing, and I was a yearbook representative in Orlando. And I had met this guy. We moved in together. We hadn't been together too long, maybe a year. We were living in downtown Orlando, and he worked for autotrader.com, and they were closing his office. And I mean, I liked my job, but I wasn't like in love with it. It was a lot of work. I felt I was too young to work that hard. And
Yeah.
I didn't feel motivated to it just wasn't sparking me. And Adam, my boyfriend at the time, he was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where I want to work. And he was given like a 6 month severance. But we were like, how old are we? 29. Like it was, what, a couple $100 a month or something. And so he, I was like, you know what? Just find a job. I'll like go work anywhere. I can teach. It doesn't matter where we go. And what's really funny is we had met via Facebook back when
Mhm.
it was a university email address only. And he had written in wanting to do the JET program in Japan to teach English. Um, and what's really funny, Marissa, I don't know if you know this, but I just have to throw it in there, is he was an ex of one of our co-friends, Ariane. And I met him
Really?
through MySpace. She was going through a breakup. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And then this guy wrote me on Facebook and I was like, oh my God, he looks so familiar. And I'm like, do you know Ariane?
Oh
And
my
she's like, that's
god.
my ex. So I am actually married to Ariane's college boyfriend.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. What a small world.
I know.
What
So
a small
anyway,
world.
we were living together at the time. And so we started looking about going abroad. And he was really looking into this JETS program, but he didn't really have any qualifications. And I had a master's in education and I had taught. And so we kind of just one night were like, let's just look into teaching. I was like, okay. So we filled out an application, and no joke, weeks later, we were in South Korea. We had sold everything.
Oh
Like
my
they accepted
gosh.
us, they accepted me, and then they took him. He says as like a bargaining chip. Like he was like, okay, I'll go with her, because he didn't have a teaching degree or anything. But it was like you can only have me if you take both of us. We actually were able to bring our dog as well, and
So
we
cool.
had a garage sale. We sold everything. I remember telling my boss, Missy, at the time that I was quitting the publishing company, and she was so mad at me. And it was like the most painful moment of my life. I felt like, oh my God, I'm throwing away this career that could take me places to go teach Korean kids English. Like, what am I doing? And so, yeah, 5 weeks later, we were on a plane with our dog and a backpack, and we moved to South Korea to teach English. And that was our life changing event. I think that showed us how much more there is to the world. And I
Mhm.
remember Adam didn't know where South Korea was on the map. All of our family was like, "Isn't it dangerous? Like, isn't it like a third world country? Like, are you
No.
going to North Korea?" Like, no. But people don't know what
No.
they don't know. And so
Right.
that was really a turning event in our life. And I think it's really what opened up the world to me and showed me.
Isn't it so cool how he planted a seed and then next you did something, you took an action, and then the course of life totally changed, but things open up, like, you were looking through a pinhole, and all of a sudden, it was huge.
Yeah, and it just showed me how easy that's where I think my behaviors now come from, is all you have to do is take that in action. You just have to do it. Like, I'm always the first one to say, "Why not?" And it's not a, like, FOMO is what I call it. I don't have FOMO, but I have YOLO. Because if I don't do it and
Mhm,
I think because my mom got sick so young also, which is a whole whole 'nother story. My mom got sick at 44, I'm 45. So and she
mhm.
never was able to do anything that she had wanted to do with her life because she got sick. And so I feel like if I don't do it, no one's gonna do it for me.
No.
Fear is silly because it might cripple you, but in the end, you either escape from it or you still have it, right?
Mhm.
Or like, you die. Like you have to do what you want to do. No
Right.
one's going to do it for you. And sure, you could always
No.
stay on the safe and narrow, but what's that going to give you in the end? In my opinion.
Yeah, and yeah, and, fear is I love the movie We Bought a Zoo with
Mhm.
Matt Damon. Have you seen that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
And so he talks about it's one of my favorites. There's so many amazing life lessons, plus it's a great story. But there's this at the very end, he talks about how you just have to be brave for 7 seconds or 10 seconds or whatever it is. And I find so many times, like when I have decisions to make, I think, okay, am I going to regret not making this and not making this decision and or not doing something, not acting, whatever it is to do something else, to have another experience, to try another path. The time is so short and you can sit and do what's normal and not be afraid, or you can go try something. And you literally went to a foreign country with a backpack
Oh my god.
and
I remember we got, for anybody who's ever had Korean food, you might get a little humor out of this, but we landed at the airport super late after what, like 18, 19 hours of travel or something stupid, and then we had to we weren't staying in Seoul, we were in the southwest corner in a city called, Gwangju, and we had to take a 4-hour bus after we got off our plane, and the buses there are amazing, but they stop at, like, a rest stop and you can grab something to eat, so we went to, like, the fast food hall thing where you can get food, and I thought I was getting sushi rolls and pasta. Well, for anyone that's had Korean food, gimbap is not sushi. It has a very different flavor. And we were like, and then we had tteokbokki instead of pasta, which is a rice, like chewy noodle that's like this big. And I thought, oh, it's like ziti. Oh my God, we put it in our mouth, and the tomato sauce isn't spaghetti sauce. It's like this very like dense tomato, almost like a, a ravioli can, like is almost what it tastes like.
Mhm.
And I just remember we looked at each other and we were like, "What on earth did we just do? Like, this is not
What are we
sushi, this is
doing?
not pasta. Where are we?" And then we
No.
get to our apartment, they drop us off because they pay for your housing. No toilet paper, no food, like literally nothing but a bed in it. And we were like, "What do we just sign up for?" Like, we don't even have bananas. Like, we have nothing to eat.
We have nothing. I love it. I love it. No, no, and it's different, culture's different, experience is different, it is different. I remember the first time I went to Italy, and it was just such a different, like, experience. Like, the refrigerators were small. I was like, "Why are these refrigerators so small?" And they're like, "Well, we go to the market every day." And they're looking at me, I'm like, "Wait, you don't, like, haul in 47 bags of groceries?" And they're like, "No, we go down to the square and we go get whatever's fresh." And I was like, "That's so strange." Also, it's totally how I shop now and how I function
Yeah,
because
I
I'm like,
wish
"This
it
makes
was
so much more
easier.
sense."
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So tell us about what your heart looked like when you made that leap.
Um, it was scary. I think it was kind of like dark because of the unknown, right? Like I was clouded.
Mhm.
Is this the right move? It was confused, but it was excited. So I I get like this like, oh please say yes, like type of thing inside that like kind of sets off this energy. That happens all the time when like I think of something and I know it's what I want, but I have to make sure that my
Mm.
significant other agrees and it's like part of his excitement too. So it was
Mhm.
like, this is my heart, right? Like it's starting to blossom. Um, and I put a compass in it because the compass signifies,
Mhm.
not only just direction of life, because it was really one that changed our not only just our life, but our relationship and who we became together, because this was something that we experienced together. Um, but the direction of, our future, and that whole
Mhm.
game of let's just leap. Let's just There's no reason not to. And I think it's what he always says, that like I'm his compass, which is very sweet. He's really I don't deserve him. He's a wonderful man, and I
Oh.
really don't. And he says, like, even when we travel around, that I'm very good with direction and he is not. So all the pictures are of
Mhm.
me behind, because he's always behind me. But it's not because I'm leading. It's just because I feel that pull. I don't It's
Mhm.
so hard to explain, and some people might think I'm wonky and whatever, but I do. I have this pull to just go, and that's kind of
Mhm.
what it looked like there.
It actually makes perfect sense. I think, that energetic draw to something is I also have that, and I very much experience it in very odd ways sometimes, and so it totally makes sense to me, and for those of you who are like energetic draw or like that lead, it's just something that you literally feel pulled to, and
It puts a little hop
it
in your
almost
step.
it does. It does.
Like if
That's a
there's
great
ever
way to
a
describe
job
it,
that you wanted
actually.
to apply for, or a
Mhm.
vacation you wanted to take, or a game you wanted to see, a concert, that initial spark, that when like you see the tickets go on sale, like, "Oh my god, I might get this opportunity." That's that leap. That's that pull. It's that initial like flicker of, "Oh my god, I can do this." And
Mhm.
my problem is when I see that or feel that, I go full speed. And he's so nice because he doesn't ever say no to that.
I don't know if nice is the right word. I think that that is very unconditional support
Yeah. And he
because
knows
it's
who I
it's
am.
a deep awareness of knowing who you are
Yeah.
and knowing what that spark does to you
Mm.
and
God,
how
you're
it
like a
makes you
therapist,
feel.
Marissa.
I don't know about all that. I've been through a lot of
You
therapy,
need some
but
more
it's
letters
just
after your name.
and so I just when you first described your heart and I was reading it, you described it as like blue and gray swirls with warm reds and yellows and a compass in the middle and sparks of glitter. And I very much could see that like culmination of fear and unknown and excitement all at once in a way that is so defining as a moment as who we are. Like, I talk about waypoints and like what are these stories that have happened, the pieces and fabric of ourselves, but like that then becomes this like benchmark of you had an experience, you had this like draw to do something. There was uncertainty, but you did it anyway and you had this amazing experience. Not perfect,
Mm.
but this amazing
Yeah, it's how
experience.
I feel when Pitbull comes to town.
Yes. Totally the same thing. Totally the same thing.
Let's go together
I love
next
it.
time. Okay.
We totally should. And so the next story you're going to share with us is from passports to purpose, and having these aha moments in our life are just as important to understand and map as the good and the hard. Because for me, an aha moment always triggers an action. I I can go back through and map my hearts, and for every aha moment, there has been some kind of action that led to a good or hard. So tell us about that.
This one is see, I'm getting very emotional on this one. This one is very recent. Um, so I had been a stay-at-home mom for 11 years, right? So after Korea, we went back, I got pregnant, we came home. I've had 3 kids, we've lived all over. We lived in the school bus. My mom passed away, my grandma passed away. Like my life just really took a lot of turns, and I started to live a lot more for myself, which is good and bad as a mom. It's really hard. There's a lot of guilt. Um, and I wanted to contribute more to our family. I had a bakery. I was doing decorated sugar cookies. If you're on my LinkedIn or my Facebook or whatever, you'll see them. They're everywhere. But it's a lot of work, and it doesn't it's there's not a lot of financial reward. So I had
Mhm.
this degree and I was like, I need to use it. I need to go back to work. So I started as a school secretary, and I was subbing school secretary, and then a job opportunity fell into my lap to finish out the school year for a teacher who had quit. And it was social studies, and it's ancient cultures. And that's my passion. It's who I am. I mean, I think we counted, I've been to 6 wonders of the world. Like, it's all that I dream of, right? So I took the job, I
Mhm.
finished out the school year, I did a whole 'nother school year, and that summer, I had gone on with a travel agency. So I had gone on a cruise. I used a travel agent because I just didn't have time to think about what to do. And Michelle, my travel agent, booked our cruise. It was great. And every time I was talking to her, she was traveling and I was traveling. I'm like, oh, I'm in London right now, but let's plan this. And I was like, oh, I'm here right now. She's like, I'm in Alaska. And I was like, oh, well, I'm in Norway. Like, it was just crazy. And I was like, why am I not doing this full time? Or
Mhm.
why am I not doing this at all? And so, over the summer, this was a year ago this summer, so almost a year and a half ago, I interviewed with this travel agency, Favorite Grumpy Travels, and they hired me to start doing more international travel for their company. They're big into Universal and cruises, Disney, and things like that. Disney and Universal weren't really my, like, high points, even though I grew up in Orlando. Like, we lived there, my
Yep.
parents didn't have a lot of money, we didn't go to the parks, it just like, when we sang in the choir in elementary school, we got, like, the free tickets to go, that's when we would go. Or grad night, right?
Grad night was
Grad
fun.
night was awesome. God, that was so long ago. Anyway, so,
Lifetime.
I was doing it part-time, I got hired on, I had some great clients. It wasn't enough to make a lot of money. I was getting like doing all these trainings and learning about all these places and wanting to travel more. And I was stuck teaching, which sounds awful. But teaching now is not the same as it was 20 years ago. Like, I had been out of the classroom
Mhm.
a really long time and I'm old. Like, I look at myself and I think, oh, you're not old, Nicole, but 20 years in
Yeah.
technology, 20 years in content matter, because things are different now than they were when it comes to benchmarks and expectations and rules. And I was feeling every day I would go home from teaching, waiting to get a phone call from my principal that I was fired for talking about something I shouldn't have in my classroom.
Oh.
And
Mhm.
it was scary because ancient culture is ancient culture. You can't change it and you can't talk about all of it. You can only talk about some of it. And I was just getting really uneasy. So anyway, at the same time, I'm selling travel. So these 2 things are happening simultaneously. And then in May, we had our, convention for our company where 23 of us flew down to Florida. I think it was 23. We stayed in Evermore, which is we stayed in these giant, like, it sleeps 33, they're like mansions with, like, this great room, and we learned the entire time. We had all these vendors from Royal Caribbean, from Virgin Voyages, from sandals, from beaches. We went on, like, the Brightline in Florida and toured cruise ships. We went to Epic Universe before it opened, and I just were some newer people, but some of the travel agents there, they do really well, and this is what they do full time. There's only, like, 3 of them that do it full time. Um, but I was like, "I can do this." Like, this is, like,
Yeah.
I mean, those sparks, they were all happening, like, right,
Yep.
I was, like, taking notes, I was on my computer, I was like, but to dedicate your time to social media to build your clientele, to take the
Mhm.
time to learn about all the different partners and locations, and to give people their dreams so that they don't have to, it takes a lot of work, and I'm teaching, right? So I'm finding, like, my plan
Yeah.
period, I'm on my computer, and after work, I'm instead of with my kids, I'm on my computer trying to do all
Mhm.
the things. And I came home from convention, I just said to Adam, I said, "I think I wanna go full time. I think I want, like, this is what I'm meant to do." And, he said, "Okay." He said, "Okay."
It's like, "That's great."
Yeah, awesome. I mean, you're at home before. I mean, it's a little bit of a sell. I mean, teachers don't make that much, but it was, at least I had insurance and other things. So, I
Right.
mean, I was losing some things, but I was like, I can do this." He's like, "I know you can." I was like, "Okay." So, like, 2 days later, because I don't wait, like, I had my letter of resignation typed up, and I was like, "I'm quitting." And everybody on my team was
Yeah.
shocked, and I left teaching, like, I finished the school year, and since May of this year to September, I've been in the top 5 in our company every month. I have 28 families traveling in the month of October that I, like, built their vacations and memories and dreams,
Wow.
and, like, this is where I get emotional, right? Because, like, not only am I now open to visit the world, like, I just went to Peru, like, I'm able to, like, experience these things so I can bring them back to people, but I'm being that person that helps other people do that. And that feels like it's all of my life pieces. Do, 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 boom, right? This is where you're supposed to be. So that, I mean, it comes with its own challenges, which is, I feel like I'm talking so much. So,
No, 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 and that's the thing. So,
uh,
it's interesting that you had this very stark difference in you come home and you're worried that you have said something that's going to cause you to lose your job, right? Even though ancient
well, I
civilizations,
mean, I
it's
remember
just it's what
talking about
happened, right?
this is like an example. So we were talking about Rome and the bathhouses, and they're naked. And when I went to South Korea, they still have that culture. So I was explaining that to the kids, and I made kids uncomfortable by talking about nudity. I mean, I get it, but they're also 12-year-olds. Like, but it's not me saying, "Oh, like, boobs and
No,
whatever."
this
Like,
is right,
it's history, and it still happens today in many
right.
places, like in
Many
religions and
cultures, right.
cultures. But I had a kid go to guidance saying that I made them uncomfortable talking about these things in my classroom, and I was like, "Shoot, like,
That wasn't your intention, right?
no,
Right, your
never."
intention is like, "This is the history, this is what's happening in other places."
And it
But to
still
be able
happens.
to Oh, yeah. But to be able to so very high up. So, in the things that, bring me joy are adventure, right? So, unplanned and or new experiences,
Mhm.
wonder, which is those things that I use the example of fireflies and waterfalls or things that are, really magnificent and genuine human connection, right? And so when you think about what you get to do, you get to help people and families who otherwise they may go on a trip, but they're not going to have a curated experience that allows them to experience the adventure, the wonder, and the genuine human connection that happens when you're outside of your day to day. And also, when we stack these experiences, I truly believe that we become better humans because we're more aware of what happens in the world. We're more aware of what happens in other cultures and we slow down. And what a cool opportunity to take all of your life experiences and be able to share that is really a gift.
Well, that's what I hope for, and I hope people see it, and even my kids, as much as I mean, they actually don't know it, but I'm taking my daughter on a Disney cruise in 2 weeks over Halloween, and she doesn't know. Like, I was just on one as an adult only to experience it as an adult, so, like, I Disney's my childhood, it's not my kid's childhood, and so I went
Right.
on to experience, like, "Oh, I knew all the trivia. Oh, I could sing the songs. I could do all this." My
Mhm.
kids, I don't know what the last Disney movie they saw was, but my, um purpose was to experience it as an adult only, right? And so I'm on there, I'm like, "Oh my god, I have to bring my daughter. I can't do this without her." So I booked one when I was on for the 27th, and she doesn't know, and so she's, like, making her Halloween costume, and she's doing all these things, and she's like, I don't even remember what your question was and why I'm here, but and she was like, I I know that they're my kids and travel, so she came down, so I'm like, "Kids, I have to talk to you," and nobody knows about this yet, and they come down, they're like, "Please don't tell me we're traveling on Halloween so we don't get to trick or treat." And I was like, "No, I'm not even gonna tell you that right now." Okay, but they don't realize how much it does last in them. Gavin is doing something for his 7th grade social studies right now, and it's like a timeline of his life. And his first box, I looked at it, and it was all about the places he's been in the school bus that we lived on,
Mhm.
and it's like the
Yeah.
beginnings. And so I feel like in the moments, it's hard. Traveling with kids is so hard, but
Oh, yeah.
oh my god,
So hard.
so hard. But that's why I've been traveling with just one. Just another thing
Yeah.
is I took Jake to South Korea and Japan this year. I took Gavin to England last year, and then Aveline this year, she wants to go to Korea again, which I will go in a heartbeat because it's my favorite place on earth. But and so she doesn't know that she's not going to be trick or treating like in the neighborhood with her friends. But she will
But
be at a
also
Disney.
she's gonna have this rad
I know
experience,
we're doing
like
like Mickey's Halloween party with like Goofy and Pirate. Said Captain Ron on the ship. It was awful. I didn't mean
s
it. Jack Sparrow. was like,
Yes.
"Oh, we're gonna go see Captain Ron right now," and they're like, "Nicole, wrong genre." I was like, "Okay."
Totally fine. Pirate captain, it totally makes sense. Also,
So anyway,
Captain Ron
yes,
is such
I
a funny
am so
movie. Yeah.
excited to be able to share this with my own family as always, but it's almost like a gift and an excuse all at the same time. Oh, guys, I
Mhm.
have to take you to all these places because I want people to see that it is possible to bring their kids to, like, it's not just an all inclusive, which there's nothing wrong with that at all. Different vacations, different experiences.
Mhm.
But I like people to know that it is okay to take your kid to South America. It is safe. Like, it is okay to go experience
Yeah.
wherever in the world. You don't have to worry. And my kids get to do that. And it's hopefully shaping their personalities, their joy, their future because they get to experience so much more.
Yeah.
Because I find that's important, right?
Oh, I absolutely think it's important. It's like I know that just from the social media inside outside view, I know that one of your kids really likes historical stuff. And um and so I am the person who stops to read the signs. Like, like if there's metal signs on the side of the road, I will pull over, back up and stand there and read the sign because I'm so interested in whatever happened here. So maybe I know that it's not always easy, but can you imagine one day when he's like, I got to go see this thing and this
Oh my
thing
god,
and this
it's this
thing.
this kid right here, it's a self-portrait. He's the one that, we just went to the Renaissance fair when I was out of town. My mother-in-law took them. He wore a big old shako, like, he's one that will go to a restaurant wearing these, like, giant military hats just to get, um, people to talk, like, it's a conversation starter, but he went to the Renaissance fair all dressed up with his bugle. He turned his hat upside down. He made $7 by playing the bugle at the Renaissance fair.
Great job, great job, but, like, what a cool experience. One of our mutual friends, Jen, her son is super into history and makes these comic strips of, like, historical things that happened, but, like, he draws them out, and they're really easy to understand. Like, "This is what happened in 1812,"
Yeah.
and I'm looking at it, I'm like, "This is magnificent." Also, I didn't know that's what happened in 1812.
Yeah.
Um,
We give
but
him a
just really
time limit.
cool.
We're like, "You have about 3 minutes until you're over my head, so go."
Yeah, but, like, what a cool like, that's a spark within him that he loves, and he will be able to experience these things in ways that reading a book is just not the same.
Right.
It's just not, and I'm super grateful for books, but it's just not the
I
same.
mean, he reads a ton too,
Um,
but
oh, I'm sure. So, what would you describe your heart as like when you took this, passion of yours to real life?
I knew immediately it's what I wanted, and I knew that Adam was going to support me. I There wasn't a doubt in my mind, and it was that initial, like, spark from the inside, right? It felt fire, like, it felt like, "Oh my gosh, finally,
Mhm.
after 40 something years, I know what I meant to do." And maybe I always knew all along, but I didn't know how to get there,
Yeah,
and it was given to me, right? Like, I things happen for a reason, things fall in your lap,
of
whatever.
course.
I believe in that. And so I felt just like this, like, "Ah," right, like Ariel, like, "This is meant to happen." This is
Yeah,
me thrusting in my heart. Um, it just felt right, like, it felt powerful, it didn't feel scary. It felt like it was
mhm.
opening and pushing me forward. Um, that it was me on fire, like, "This is where I'm supposed to be," right? And you go, girl, right? Like, you get it. It's meant for
Yeah,
you. It's
right.
and every single person that knows me, not at 1%, not even a quarter percent surprised that this is what I'm doing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And what a cool feeling to know that all of these choices, because you've made many choices in that direction, you didn't know it at the time, like, you just kept making choices towards yourself or towards saying next yes to the next thing, and it led you to this really cool culmination of events, because I'm sure there are people who help with travel who are amazing, but if they haven't experienced the things and they don't know what works and they don't have that passion, like, that passion for you is creating that experience.
Mhm.
It's not about, are you gonna be on a boat, a plane, a train? It's about creating that experience and having that moment and being able to share that thing that lives inside of you for travel with other people, and how cool is that?
It is. It's not just A to B. Like, there's so many swirls and underneath, and there's I think I mean, first off, people have to trust me. It's a big leap, right? To be able to trust someone to do it. And I can say as much or show pictures or do whatever, but until you have a conversation and you get to understand if our passions match, or just the idea of excitement and ease. It makes me really happy. Like it's what drives me every day, just to help other people experience more than their day to day because it changes us. And I think
It
the
does
world
change
right
us.
now needs a lot more of that.
Needs it
Mhm.
a lot more. So as we come to the end of the show, I always ask, what is the one piece of advice you would want to leave people with today?
YOLO. Uh, when things fall into your lap, take them. Like, it happens
Mhm,
for everything does happen for a reason. I think a really crazy my best friend, she always says rejection is protection. When things
mhm.
don't work out, don't jump after them because 'cause they're not meant to work out. Like, when something is in front of you, you take that because it might never happen again. And I think it's really important, even if it doesn't work out right, it's a step toward whatever was meant to happen. I don't know, it sounds so cheesy, but it's true.
It's so true, though. It's so true. I just watched a thing the other day where Warren Buffett was like they were like, "What's the worst investment you ever made?" And Warren Buffett was like, "It's I've made investments and they've lost money, but the ones I regret are the ones I didn't take." And I was like, "This seems so rudimentary," but, like, this is, like, arguably one of the best businessmen, of our lifetime,
Mhm.
and he's like, "It's the ones I didn't take," and I'm like, "Okay, I hear you, universe,"
Yeah.
and so,
I fully believe in
um
that. I fully believe in when things are put in your lap, you take them. People always say, "Oh, you're so lucky," and Adam and I talk Adam's my husband, that we talk all the time that it is not luck. It is not. It is choices that we've made that have
Mhm.
connected us with people or directed us towards something or cleared a path, like you said, or dropped
Yeah,
a clue or a pin or what is it, a crumb to
yeah,
enable something else to happen. It is not luck, and it's not a numbers game. It's not anything except what's supposed to happen in your life, and it does sound so crazy, but it's your path. Like,
it's your path.
it's your
It's your
heart.
path. It is your heart. It is your heart. Well, thank you so much for sharing how you followed your heart. It's been
Mm.
wonderful to learn more about you and the details that I didn't know, and for the world to know that you just have to YOLO sometimes.